Welcome back to the deep dive. We take the source material you share, the research, the notes, sometimes fascinating scripts like today's, and we try to give you that intellectual shortcut, really, to understanding what matters most.
And today's dive is, well, it's definitely one of the most relaxing topics we've covered.
It really is. We're looking at Santuario de la Tranquilidad, Sesión de Sueño Profundo, a guided session for deep restorative sleep.
And the source material itself, it's more than just, soothing words strung together. It's got a real structure.
Absolutely. It's this detailed, multi-phase roadmap. And our mission here isn't just to read it out. We want to dissect the engineering of calm, you could say.
Right. How it uses these sequential anchors, physical, sensory, mental, to kind of bypass the busy mind and guide someone into deep rest.
Yeah, it feels like applied self-hypnosis almost, built step by step. Okay, let's unpack this.
So the first phase is really crucial because it tackles something fundamental. The body needs to feel safe and supported before the mind can let go, neurologically speaking.
Right, that's the gentle grounding phase. And it starts with specific physical actions, doesn't it? Finding a supported position.
Yes, lying down or seated,
Right.
but fully supported. And then there's this instruction to gently uncross your hands and feet.
Okay, that detail, uncrossing hands and feet. Why is that so important right at the start?
Well, we hold tension unconsciously, right? Crossing limbs can be a subtle form of physical resistance, a tightness.
Ah, okay.
So uncrossing them is both a physical and a symbolic release. Same with clothing, adjusting anything tight. It's about removing any tiny physical signal that reminds the brain of, resistance or waking life.
Gotcha. Removing those little background distractions. So the physical environment is optimized, then comes the breathing. But it's treated differently here, isn't it? More like a tool.
Exactly. It's not just breathe deeply. It specifies diaphragmatic breathing, inhale through the nose, feeling the belly expand softly.
Right.
That specific action, breathing low and slow, immediately helps activate the parasympathetic nervous system.
Right.
That's your rest and digest mode. It's a physiological switch.
But then there's the mental layer on top of the physical breath. The instruction to release accumulated tensions, effort, strain with the exhale.
Precisely. They're actively conditioning you. The exhale becomes this disposal mechanism for negativity, for tension.
Okay.
And conversely, the inhale is framed as drawing in tranquility and calm. So every breath becomes this intentional act. You're actively managing your state with each cycle.
And this phase wraps up with closing the eyes, but it's paired with a specific instruction, right? Feeling a comfortable and profound heaviness in the eyelids.
Yes. And that's a brilliant bit of anchoring. That physical sensation, the heaviness, is immediately linked to the idea of switching off. Kind of bypasses the usual, am I sleepy yet thoughts. The heaviness itself becomes the signal that, yes, you're letting go. It really paves the way for the next step.
Which takes us into phase 2, the full body scan, or maybe the wave of ease, as we call it in the notes. The eyelids are heavy, and now the script uses really vivid sensory language to spread that feeling.
What's fascinating here is how it translates a mental instruction into a physical feeling. They talk about relaxation flowing out like soft, imaginary waves.
And when that wave reaches the feet, it gets very specific. Pleasurable warmth, gentle tingling. Why those particular sensations?
Those aren't just poetic words. They often correspond to actual physiological changes. Increased blood flow, nerve endings relaxing as muscle tension releases. It makes the instruction feel real, tangible.
Okay, that makes sense. But then there's this instruction I found interesting. The feet and ankles become soft and wonderfully heavy, maybe like lead. Isn't heavy kind of the opposite of a soft wave? Is that intentional?
Oh, absolutely intentional. Think of the wave as the delivery mechanism, the thing carrying the relaxation.
Yeah.
But the result, the feeling they want you to achieve in each body part is surrender, heaviness.
I see.
That lead-like heaviness is about stopping that tiny unconscious effort of holding yourself up, even when lying down. It's the feeling of just letting go completely, allowing the body to just drop with gentle weight.
Okay, so the wave delivers the instruction, and the instruction is be heavy, surrender. The wave then moves up through the calves, knees, thighs, neutralizing those big muscle groups.
Exactly. And as it moves towards the core, the hips and abdomen, the focus is subtle. It's about releasing unnecessary tightness. You maintain that soft, deep breathing established earlier. It's about stabilizing your center.
And there's a specific mention of the heart too, settling into a slow, smooth, rhythmic beat.
Yeah, bringing awareness to the heartbeat, probably the most fundamental, steady rhythm in the body, deepens that sense of sinking inward. It connects your mind to this very stable, involuntary process. It's very grounding.
Right. Then the shoulders sink and drop away from your ears, a classic relaxation cue.
And the arms and hands become heavy, releasing any energy held throughout the day. That's consciously letting go of the doing parts of ourselves.
Which leads finally to the neck and head, releasing the jaw, the cheeks, smoothing the forehead.
Every little muscle, the ones we use for expression, for concentration, for worry, they're all addressed. The goal is for the entire body to feel completely and luxuriously relaxed, heavy, and still, like a sealed container of calm.
So the physical container is sealed. The body has surrendered. That seems to be the trigger for phase 3, shifting from the physical to the mental and emotional. The sanctuary.
Precisely. The focus moves inward. You're guided to step into this secluded, beautiful sanctuary deep within your mind. The key descriptions are utterly safe and filled with a brilliant, soft, white essence, or light.
This white light seems central, especially for handling thoughts or memories that might pop up. How does the script deal with those without, waking you up again?
It uses a really elegant, non-judgmental approach. You don't fight the thoughts. You simply acknowledge them, picture them sort of floating across the space.
Okay.
And then you gently let the light dissolve them. And here's the key instruction. You are too relaxed to engage with them now.
That's powerful. It's like giving yourself permission to ignore them.
Exactly. It reframes distraction not as a failure, but as something irrelevant to your current state of deep relaxation. It interrupts the pattern of engagement.
And the light itself isn't just passive background, is it? It's described as active.
Very active. It's healing, restorative, and infinite. You're told to inhale it, feel it bathing every cell. And the exhale becomes this instant transformation. You exhale any lingering emotional discomfort, anxiety, fear, whatever, and it's described as transforming instantly into that pure light. There's no struggle, just release and purification.
Wow. So it's actively cleansing emotional residue. The aim is to feel whole, complete, and utterly safe within this radiance.
Exactly. It neutralizes the emotional static, leaving you in a state of pure, receptive calm.
Which sets the stage perfectly for the final push into sleep. Phase 4, the descent. And here's where it gets really interesting for me. The sanctuary image fades, replaced by a cozy, warm, and welcoming cradle.
Suspended by a soft current, gently swaying. This visualization serves to deepen that feeling of being held, supported, almost weightless. It disconnects you further from the physical sensation of lying in bed.
Preparing you for that loss of conscious body awareness that happens in sleep.
Precisely. And then comes the main mechanism for inducing that final shift, the countdown.
The 10 to 0 countdown. And it's explicit. Each number sinks you twice as deep into restorative rest, moving beyond the thinking mind.
Yeah, it's a classic hypnotic deepener, using numbers to anchor progressive relaxation. But the specific instructions tied to some numbers are quite revealing.
Like at 9, it says letting go of the last vestige of waking thought. Very direct.
Very direct. And at 8, there's that clever reframe you mentioned earlier.
Right. That external sounds, a car outside, the house settling, actually carry you further into rest.
It's a beautiful way to neutralize potential disturbances. Instead of resisting sound, you use it. It flips the script on disruptions.
Yeah, that's smart. But the point you highlighted at 6 is maybe the most technically interesting.
Agreed. Because it stops being purely metaphorical for him. It explicitly mentions entering the regenerative theta state where deep healing occurs.
Bringing in brain science, why reference the theta state specifically?
Well, theta brainwaves are associated with that transition state between waking and sleeping, deep meditation, and REM sleep. Referencing it adds this layer of almost clinical credibility.
Okay.
It reassures the subconscious, perhaps, that this guided journey is aligned with actual beneficial biological processes. It grounds the whole experience.
Making it feel less like fantasy and more like directed physiology.
Exactly. And then the count continues down, finally reaching 0. And the declaration is simple. You are home. Rest now. The journey is complete.
So what does this all mean when we step back? We've walked through this really quite intricate structure. It's sequential conditioning, isn't it?
Definitely. We start with physical grounding, making the body safe. Then systemic release, part by part. Then you create a safe mental space, the sanctuary, with a tool for managing thoughts that light.
And finally, that hypnotic descent, using numbers, visualizations, and even a nod to brain states to guide you over the threshold.
It's a very thorough system. It seems designed to anticipate and neutralize pretty much every common obstacle to falling asleep. Physical tension, racing thoughts, noise, anxiety. It doesn't leave much to chance.
Right. It provides this repeatable framework.
Yeah.
But there's that fascinating little twist right at the very end. After all this work to quiet the conscious mind, the script mentions that even as your body enters deep sleep, the inner mind is completely alert and receptive. What's that about? Isn't the goal unconsciousness?
Well, yes and no. It's not about total obliteration. It's about bypassing the critical, analytical, worrying part of the conscious mind. The inner mind, or subconscious, remains receptive.
Receptive to what?
To the positive suggestions and the state of peace that the entire script has been building. It's open to the healing and restoration that's supposed to happen during sleep, amplified by the guided process.
Ah, I see. So the goal isn't just making you sleep, but ensuring the quality of that sleep involves this receptive subconscious state actively working on restoration, because the script does promise you'll wake wonderfully refreshed, energized, and deeply happy.
Exactly. It frames deep sleep not just as passive recovery, but as an active phase of, well, directed emotional and mental refinement, guided by the groundwork laid before you drifted off.
Which leaves us with a really interesting question to maybe ponder as you, the listener, perhaps prepare for your own rest tonight. If that inner mind stays alert and receptive, busy with restoration while the body sleeps, what exactly is the work it's doing? What does it mean to be actively refining your well-being even when you're asleep?